Γεια σας και καλώς ήρθατε στο Euronews. Μια ανθρωπιστική τραγωδία εκτιλήσεται στη λωρίδα της Γάζας τις τελευταίες εβδομάδες. Ο κόσμος παρακολουθεί τα τεκτενόμενα μετά τις 7 Οκτωβρίου με κομμένη την ανάσα. Τι είναι δίκαιο, τι είναι άδικο, ερωτήματα που δεν μπορούν να απαντηθούν εύκολα. Το τι σκέφτεται ο Παλαιστινιακός λαός τις τελευταίες ημέρες συζητήσαμε με τον Παλαιστίνιο πρέσβη στην Ελλάδα,
Ambassador, thank you for joining us. First off, I would like to offer your condolences for the innocent lives lost in Gaza Strip the last weeks. What is your information about the humanitarian situation there right now?
Thank you for this interview. We greet all your audience. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak to your audience. The situation in Palestine as a whole is very difficult. The situation is more grave in the Gaza Strip because in Gaza the bombardment hasn't stopped for over 26 days, and we are talking about aerial bombardment, civilian towers being completely demolished. There are over 9,000 Palestinians dead, all civilians. There are over 3,000, now nearly 4,000 children killed. Over 2,500 women. We are facing apocalyptic, catastrophic situation in Gaza because everything is being leveled to the ground using airstrikes. So these are sophisticated bombs, mainly to kill. There is nothing humane about it. Not only are civilian structures as housing is being bombed, but also hospitals and churches and mosques. So far, 19 mosques and churches have been attacked. Yesterday, leveled to the ground was the Greek Orthodox Cultural Center, a center that was housing Palestinians who sought refuge from the bombardments. It was leveled to the ground. This is where children play. This is where children take a break from the wars, the constant wars that have been hit on Gaza. We are talking 5 wars before this, but nothing to the scale that we see today.
Let's go back in the beginning of the month when Hamas attacked the kibbuts in Israel. First of all, I would like to ask you if you condemn these attacks because they are innocents in both sides.
We ask the world to condemn the Israeli attacks on Palestinian civilians because they are indiscriminate. They have been going on way before October 7. Since 1948, Palestinians have been subjected to the most cruel and inhumane apartheid and occupation in the world. The world bears responsibility for this because we have been warning of the situation that's getting more and more grave. In 1967, the occupation, and then later on throughout the years, Palestinians are being subjected to arrests, including children, to assassinations. Journalists are being assassinated. Shireen Abu Akleh was assassinated with no accountability so far. The other day they killed the family of the journalist Wa'el Dahdo. What can be justified to kill such families? His son and daughter wanted to be journalists. They produced a video showing the destruction in Gaza and sending a message of peace and hope that we will rebuild Gaza, we will rebuild our homes. But that all died, their dreams died, because they were struck with an Israeli bomb that killed their whole family. 19 members of that family died, 12 of them were children.
You're speaking about innocent lives lost in Gaza the last decades, but again I will go to this issue because it's very important for us, it's very important for the world to understand. In the 7th of October there were innocent lives lost from the other side. Do you condemn that? The same way, because we're speaking about innocence.
We do not condone the attack on civilians because we ourselves have been attacked many times by the Israelis. The PLO is the sole representative of the Palestinian people. We adhere to international law, international resolutions, and we expect that Israel as well adheres to international law and international resolutions. Hundreds of international resolutions have condemned Israel as an occupying power. Israel is responsible for our safety, not for our killing. We are under occupation. When people say the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, they imply that we are a state and we have our army and we have our independence. That's not the case. We are people under occupation. Under the 4th Geneva Conventions and the 195 paragraphs in the Geneva Conventions, Israel should protect us as a people under its occupation. They should not transfer us out of our country. They should not perform ethnic cleansing of Palestine. They should not jail our people. They should not kill our people. Our people have the right to live.
You told me that PLO solely represents Palestinian
Yes.
people. Let's make it clear. Hamas that controls Gaza right now, or at least it used to until the 7th of October. Does Hamas represent the Palestinian people?
As I said before, and as I confirm, that it is the PLO that represents the Palestinian people. It is the PLO with Yasser Arafat who from the 60s have been trying to realize our state. Yasser Arafat signed the Oslo Accords in 1993 with a concession. We conceded to 78% of our lands to have our land on 22% of historic Palestine for the sake of peace, with international assurances that at the end of 5 years of this agreement and accord, that we will have our independent state, that we will live in freedom, dignity and liberty. But decades have passed, 3 decades have passed, and the international world is watching silently, condemning settlements, condemning the expansion of settlements, but doing nothing more. They could have done much more, turn their condemnation into actions by placing sanctions on Israel for violating all forms of international humanitarian law and international law. There is no justification for the killing of Palestinian children and women.
What do you think about the hostage situation? And I would like to ask you if you think that this situation serves the cause and the dream and the vision of the Palestinian people right now?
There are 7,000 Palestinian hostages in Israeli jails, including many children. The world looks elsewhere. They don't look at the root of the problem. Palestinian hostages, Palestinian political prisoners have been in Israeli jails for over 30 and 40 years. Some have died in Israeli jails. Some have had cancer and were not even allowed to see and bid farewell their families from Israeli jails. The new Israeli settlers who are in the Netanyahu government, they put laws to make the life of Palestinian prisoners very difficult. They say, why should they have fresh bread? Why should they have showers? We control the showers. They're not allowed to have hot water. They're not allowed to have more than 1 hour in the toilets every day. They're not allowed visitation rights by their families. Their children are not allowed to see them. Once every 2 months. What kind of barbarity is this? We are living in the year 2023, and yet the world watches silently while Palestinians are being treated in an inhumane way. We are being demonized, we are being dehumanized, so that Israel can justify why they are killing us in such barbaric way. I can't imagine people walking in the street and seeing somebody shooting a child, and they're looking at the person. It's okay, you can kill them. I haven't seen this in the world. The world doesn't accept it. But why is it accepted in Palestine, in occupied Palestine?
I think we can all agree that what you described about the conditions of the Palestinians being held by Israeli army, by Israeli forces, are inhumane and unfair. But isn't this the same for the hostages that are being held by Hamas now? Is this fair?
All what we have heard, all the stories that we have heard coming out of Gaza from the Israeli side came out from the Israeli army. There are many inaccuracies that came out from the Israeli army. For example, when they were talking about the beheading of 40 babies. The Americans came out and said, we saw it, and then they denied it. The journalists themselves who talked about it denied it themselves. So we have a lot of inaccuracies coming out from the Israeli army because Mr. Netanyahu wants to remain in power, and he will do his utmost to seek revenge against the Palestinian people. We are a peaceful nation. We want our state. We want our legitimate rights. Our legitimate rights are for the establishment of our state on the internationally recognized pre-1967 borders with East Jerusalem, our capital. Leave us alone, we will live in peace, freedom and dignity. Without peace, we will have a spillover effect in the region. This injustice cannot continue more. We have been in this injustice for over 75 years. How long should we wait for this to endure this injustice? What must we do? We have tried all forms. This concession that we did in 1993 is a clear example of what the Palestinians sacrificed for peace. Where was the Israeli peace partner after that? Their prime minister, who signed the agreement, was shot and killed because he made peace with the Palestinians. This is the nature of the Israeli.
Since you spoke about the spillover of the war in the region, are you satisfied by the support that you're getting from the rest of the Arab countries?
We are very appreciative for the support we're getting from the Arabic countries and all the countries of the world. The spillover is going to happen because I believe, and I hope it doesn't happen. We look at the West Bank. Every day there is daily incursion of the Israeli army, backed up with Israeli armed settlers, armed by the government of Israel, to go and make pogroms on Palestinian villages, burn houses, burn cars, burn lands. They have been killing Palestinians with impunity, without accountability. Why are the Israeli settlers that all have dual nationalities, that come from all over the world, have the right to live in our land, to kill our people, without accountability? So far, 350 Palestinians were killed from the beginning of the year. 150 of them have been killed since October 7. The West Bank is a very peaceful area. Why are the Israeli army entering daily into Jenin, into Nablus, into Ramallah, into Bethlehem? Why are they entering there, arresting our children? Why are they going there to kill our children? Are they trying to weaken the Palestinian Authority? Why are they calling for withdrawing the tax funds of Palestinians? They want to also make a financial choking of the Palestinian Authority. What do the Israelis want? Do they want peace or do they want war? It is very clear from their actions for over 7 decades that they want war. They want our land. They don't want our people. They want to realize their dreams.
Greece has presented a plan of 5 points, like a roadmap to peace to de-escalate the crisis right now. What do you think about this plan that includes, of course, humanitarian corridors and humanitarian ceasefire? And do you think that it would be possible for Palestinians and Israelis sit on a table and discuss after what is happening these last few weeks?
We always tell the Greek side that they have a vital role in the region. They are part of this region, and they have good friendly relations with all sides in this region. They can present plans. The United Nations has presented many resolutions. Plans are not enough. There must be concrete steps taken to enforce and to ensure that these plans are activated. We can plan all what we want. Israel has its own plans.
What are these steps, for example?
The steps is also to include the Palestinians in the steps. We had in the past the Abraham Accords, where the world thought that they can bypass the Palestinians in agreements with other Arab countries. But that has not served the Palestinian cause. We were informed that the Abraham Accords can bring peace to the region, but they have not brought any peace, because the Palestinians were not included in the equation of these agreements. The Palestinians are here to stay on our land. The PLO should be consulted for any agreement. We are part of this equation. The PLO should be given the funds to support its people on the ground. We are not looking for aid. We are looking for concrete steps to end the occupation and the realization of our state on the 1967 borders. We are looking for peace partners. War will not bring peace to the region. Killing our children and our women will not bring peace to the region. If there is a spillover effect in the region, the first to suffer is the people in the region. Inflation will rise, living expenses will become very expensive. Remember, we are at our crossroads between the East and the West, and any insecurity and instability in the region will affect the whole region. We call on the Greek government to enforce Israel to stop its war on the people of Gaza, on the Palestinians in Gaza, and on the West Bank, on the occupied West Bank, including East Jerusalem. Without this enforcing policy, the Israelis will completely destroy any prospect for a peaceful settlement and the two-state solution. The Greek, we are very grateful for the Greek people, because we are feeling the love and their passion to the Palestinian cause. We are seeing them in the streets, in peace rallies. We are seeing them in many events around Greece, talking about the Palestinian cause, condemning the atrocities that are being committed in Gaza and the West Bank. The Palestinian-Greek friendship lasts for many centuries. It's not something new. The Palestinian people love the Greek people, and the Greek people love the Palestinian people. And it is very clear for us. We have received many letters of support and solidarity. Yesterday I saw that an artist drew a mural in Greece with a Palestinian child holding up the peace.
Thank you very much for this discussion.
Thank you very much for having me.